Hi, everybody. How are we doing so far? Good? Excellent. I love the Landmark guys. I think they really hold an excellent event, so hats off to Anthony and to Zeev. Would you all agree? Yeah. So first off, who in the room has heard of Zoom before? Awesome. Who in the room uses Zoom every day? Awesome. Who in the room doesn't use Zoom? There's a few of those. You guys should talk to the other guys, okay? So, thrilled to be here. Now if my clicker works, but not working. Not working. There, working. All right, that was a hardware problem, not a software problem. Zoom is a software company, in case anybody didn't know that. We're not in the hardware business. So I think everybody would agree, collaboration is key, right? Locally, nationally, and globally. The notion of sort of working as an independent person just doesn't work. You need to connect to your people either in the same building or in the same city or across the nation, across the globe. And we fundamentally believe video is the new voice. Why do we believe that? Wouldn't you much rather have that conversation with the person right in front of you, because then when you see them, you can hear them and you can see that body language? That's what Zoom is all about. So just a little backdrop about the Zoom story. So we were founded in 2011 by Eric Yuan. He was the number 8 programmer at WebEx in 1997. As we all know, WebEx got acquired by Cisco. In 2011, Eric went to John Chambers and said, my customers aren't happy, they don't like the platform, technology has changed a lot. I see someone nodding over there, so he's in violent agreement with me. Video is the new voice. And so Chambers said, no, we're very happy with our WebEx platform. Eric left, founded Zoom. Today, 8 years later, 1,900 plus employees around the globe, 60 billion annual meeting minutes a year, triple-digit year-on-year growth, 13 data centers, Net Promoter Score at 72. Next closest is around in the high teens. And we're top rated by every analyst across the planet. Some of them mentioned here, Gartner, Peer Insights, TrustRadius, G2 Crowd, Forbes Cloud 100. And Eric, as an individual, was recognized as the top CEO in 2018, E&Y Entrepreneur of the Year. And as many of you know, Zoom went public about 2 weeks ago on NASDAQ, stock symbol of ZM. It's a real cool symbol. And the market reaction to that has been awesome. So, user growth, 2 billion meeting minutes 4 years ago. By March of this year, we were exceeding 60 billion annual meeting minutes a year. And that trajectory is expected to continue to increase. In terms of our platform, there's 3 areas to the platform. We have our meetings on the right, our conference rooms on the left, and our application development down the bottom. The way I characterize what Zoom does is we do one-to-one, we do 1 to 1 million, and everything in between. So we can have one-on-one meetings, we can have team meetings, we can have large meetings, and I'm going to show you a large meeting in a few moments, with 1,000 members. We can do a webinar with 30,000 people, up to about 50,000, and we can do a webcast for 1 million or more. On the right, you see we have meetings, we have Zoom Phone, we'll talk more about that in a moment, we have persistent chat, and on the left we have our Zoom rooms with our digital signage and our scheduling display. And we fundamentally believe that whilst you've got investments you've already made in your existing rooms, we don't expect clients to sort of write those off. So we have our cloud connector, so you can extend the life of your WebEx room or your Poly room or your life-size room or whatever room that you have. And then down the bottom, we've got our development kit, which allows you to integrate the Zoom product portfolio actually embedded into your proprietary applications. One of those great ones is LinkedIn. How many times are you on a meeting and there's a bunch of participants and you don't know who they are? You can actually hover over their name and their LinkedIn profile will pop up and you can click into that. Good company. Look at some of the logos here. We have over 1 million businesses on our platform. We go, as I said before, all the way from 1 to 1 million, everything in between. We got Walmart, Fortune #1. You've got Slack down here. They're a great partner of ours. We made some great announcements about what we're doing with Slack last week. You've got Box, and you've got Workday, and we've got Oracle. We are in every industry around the world. You name the industry. We're in pharmaceutical, hospitality, we're in travel, we're in automotive, we're in manufacturing. So everybody's in great company. I love to talk about this slide. This is one of my favorite slides because this talks to what's different about Zoom. How do we get that amazing reliability and that amazing quality? So the first thing we do is everything we do is in the Amazon cloud until you join a meeting. When you join that meeting, you leave the Amazon cloud and you go into one of our 13 data centers. So we connect all the endpoints to the closest data center. Why? Because we want to reduce that latency. The meetings actually occur in the data center, and we connect that meeting to each of the endpoints, and we manage that endpoint as a discrete connection. We manage that network as a discrete network. We look at the latency, we look at the jitter, we look at the packet loss, and we can handle up to 45% packet loss and still have an awesome experience. In addition to that, we look at the endpoint. When we look at that endpoint, and by the way, we're completely platform agnostic, so iOS, Android, Windows, Mac, Linux, VDI, web. We look at that endpoint, we look at the estate, we look at the operating system, we look at the CPU utilization. Oh, and by the way, we're not looking at what's happening on the endpoint, we just look at the CPU utilization. And then we will monitor all of this data in real time to give that endpoint the best experience we possibly can. What makes Zoom technically different, these are the things. So centralized versus a distributed network, single server versus the closest server. In the traditional environment, you've got an MCU, we have multimedia routing. In the traditional environment, you've got rate transcoding, we do multi-bit rate, and then the network versus the application there. We have proprietary QoS software, so when we sense a packet loss, we will actually smooth that out so it's hardly noticed. We just go back one slide. Okay. Whoops. My clicker seems to be working again. That's great. Innovation. Last year alone, over 200 innovations. This is the first quarter of 2019. We could be here all day talking about innovation. I just like to highlight a few of them. The ability to join multiple meetings, consent to recording, 1080p for video sharing, a virtual background, and I think we'll show you that in a moment. Breakout rooms. You don't need to fly everybody in for that workshop. You can actually do that virtually. We can actually have 100 people join a meeting, break them all up digitally to 10 breakout rooms, have them do their individuals. We can say we don't want Joe in that room, move him over to this room, move him back. Guess what? He didn't leave his office. He stayed right where he was. And then bring them all back together. And then we can do multiple device shares. It's like, it's not the sort of, Joe, can you stop sharing because I want to share? You can actually share multiple devices in the meeting at the same time for that side-by-side comparison. Really excited about the introduction of Zoom Phone. In January of this year, we went GA. We've got a number of our clients already on the Zoom Phone platform. People say, why did we do that? We did this for two reasons. One is our clients came to us and said, our meetings experience is fantastic. Reliability, quality, security. We'd love this in the phone, for a phone capability too. And we wanted to do it because we saw this as the completeness to the circle of unified communications and collaboration. So the ability to be able to make a call and then elevate that call into video, to elevate that call into content sharing without having to disconnect and dial back in on some 800 number with another 10-digit passcode. And then we are continuously enhancing our chat platform by getting an alert when a colleague has off their call, so now we can connect. And then we renamed it to channels, and then the whole prioritization around messages and contacts and chat channels. Okay, this is one of my favorite slides. So what's going on here? So we have the ability to record. Not only do we have the ability to record, we can actually create that digital transcription of that recording. So this is actually what we call a gallery view. So this is what happens when you have 1,000 people on a call. You actually get 49 streams coming in a single pane. We're going to actually run this. My colleague Wayne is controlling this in the back. So can you just pause it, Wayne? So what's going on here is an event on the left panel, and I'm actually on my phone outside of the event. Go ahead.
Harry, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Nice.
Yeah. Hi, Hunter. How are you?
Well, I'm good. It's good to see you again. Wow, I'm sorry you're late and you're stuck in traffic. We have a room full of folks here that are just dying to see you in person and hear your brilliant thought leadership.
We just fast forward a little bit, Wayne. By converting. So now I'm actually sharing this content off of my phone, which is actually pretty cool. Can you go up to the, go up here to the, I don't know if this works, yeah. Go up here and type in Eric. Now what you'll see happens here is it's scanned down through the digital transcription, and it's found all the occurrences of Eric. So down here on those yellow spots is everywhere in the digital transcription that Eric has been found. And now if you click one of those yellow spots, it actually fast forward to that and resume the transcription. Being seamless, being frictionless, and migrate to the Zoom platform. That's the vision.
Nice.
But you talk a little. So that's pretty cool. We announced at Enterprise Connect earlier this year that we are introducing real-time transcription. So I'm sure this never happens to anybody in this meeting being like 5 minutes late to the meeting. Does that ever happen? It happens to me. Okay, it doesn't happen to anybody else, but it does happen to me. And I think this lady over here happens to her too. Yeah. So 2 guilty people in the room. Awesome. 2 honest guilty people in the room. So what you can do is you can actually look at that digital transcription, that real time, to see what happened before you got to the meeting. So that's pretty cool, right? And so we have many new features coming out like that down the road. So, and just to finish up, can we go back to the deck, please? So the last thing I want to say is what makes Zoom unique. And it's 4 things. It's our company DNA. This is all we do. And we just have 2,000 people who think about Zoom every day. So it's the notion of sort of the ecosystem, the best of breed. And this is, so we have people who have domain expertise in the video conferencing, in the meetings experience. No one compares to us. Unmatched architecture and technology. I walked you through that a moment ago. And then we have a single unified platform, irrespective of whether you're doing one-to-one, you're doing a webinar, you're doing a webcast. It is all the same software that's actually running. And then we have a video-centric partner, video being first. And to wrap up, we are going to do one last thing. We are going to invite our entire sales organization to join us here live in this meeting to show you that it can be done. My wife always says I should never demo like this in a room, but my attitude is, sweetheart, it's kind of like, you know, if I can't do this in the Convene Conference Center in Midtown Manhattan, then where else can we do that? Now I just put the whole thing at risk, and let's see what happens. I'm not sure what you're doing, Wayne, but I guess you're going to get there. We're trying to give the heads up to the sales team that this is just a sales call. So, all right, there we go. That's Wayne's mugshot. Can you switch it to gallery view? Yeah, thanks, man. Now what you can see going on here is a bunch of the green screens turning up. By the way, we don't need green screens. You can actually do a virtual background. You can do it off your phone. If you want to see me later, I'm happy to show you that. It also runs off the laptop as well. Yeah, we'll just let that run. So I'm around all day. I got my colleagues outside at the booth, and look forward to cocktails later. I am Irish, so I will definitely be here for cocktails. Thanks very much for your attention.